Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Garden City Community Chat. This is episode number 519. It's Thursday, March 11th, 2021, and I am your host, Kerry. Also joining me tonight is our number one most accurate weatherman in the business, Dr. Tom Iwinski. Tom, how you doing?
Doing well, and definitely enjoying the nice mild pattern. I mean, can't get better than this, Kevin.
No, exactly. Oh, and I hope it keeps up for a while. Don't know where Mike Jones is. He was supposed to be in here tonight, but I don't know where he is. So we'll just continue without him for now. Hopefully he'll sign in shortly. Tonight we are happy to welcome back to the show Mr. Derek Fisher, Garden City Public School Superintendent. He'll be here shortly and discuss how things have changed in 7 months since he was here last. We'll find out how the students, teachers, and parents are coping. We'll also discuss what school bond projects have been completed and what projects are scheduled for this year, as well as any sinking fund projects. And he'll also be here to answer any of your questions or concerns as well. So please have them ready and put them in the comment section. But first up, Dr. Tom will be here with the latest weather forecast for us. Joe Bartley is back with all important tax tips for you. I'll have the latest COVID numbers, and hopefully Mike will be in here to give us a few announcements. If not, I will have those for you. So go ahead and grab your favorite beverage or snack, and we hope you'll join us for the next hour or so, right here live from Garden City, Michigan. Now, before we get started, we want to thank all our listeners and followers of the show who tune in every Thursday night, not only from our hometown of Garden City, but several of our surrounding communities as well. We want you to know your support's greatly appreciated, so please continue to watch, share, and listen. And remember, if your community has any events or announcements or cancellations due to COVID, all you have to do is contact us by emailing us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, or you can message us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GC chat. And we'll be more than happy to announce that information for you. Okay, we have a great show for you tonight. And remember, if you're watching us live on Facebook and you have any questions or comments for our guests, be sure to type them in the comment section, or you can text your questions to 734-788-9319, and we'll do our best to get them answered for you. All right, let's get Tom in here now with the latest check of the weather, and then we'll spend some time chatting with School Superintendent Derek Fisher. So stand by. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Well, this weather's been great, Tom.
Yeah, it definitely has been a nice week of milder air. A little windy at times for some people, but I mean, that wind is definitely bringing in the mild air, so that's kind of a double-edged sword with that. But nevertheless, These last few days, temperatures have been in the upper 60s for high temperatures, and that's been very, very much a record, near record breaking. So we're definitely being spoiled here in Michigan, and as we get into the next few days, it's going to cool down a bit, so we're not going to be dealing with the 60s anymore. We're going to be back into the 50s as we get into tomorrow with a lot of sunshine out there. And as we get into the weekend, temperatures will be right around 50 degrees each day, and a lot of sun on Saturday, but then the clouds will build up on Sunday. But overall, it's going to be a dry pattern as we get in the next 3 days, a little bit cooler than the last few days, because this cold front's will be moving through. That gave us the clearing skies today. A lot of that rain did not even make it into our neck of the woods. It all went south into Ohio. So, like I said, we're being spoiled here. Here in Michigan with the milder air and the nice day that it turned out to be later in the day. And as we talk about as we get into next week, the cooler pattern and the chillier pattern will kind of continue. I don't really see any more big warm-ups. It's talking about at least in the 60s, unfortunately, but we're going to see temperatures probably into the 40s and 50s for high temperatures as we get into next week, kind of a mixture of those temperatures. Yeah, we'll definitely take it because March, you could definitely deal with some crazy temperature swings. But we're not going to be seeing that. And I don't really see any of the wintry stuff either. I don't really want to talk about it or even mention the word because I feel like it's a curse if we mention the word in March.
Yeah.
But Monday, we'll probably be seeing the chance for a little bit of more on and off rain moving through our neck of the woods during that time period with another system moving through. And those temperatures will be kind of in the 40s on Monday, a little bit on the chillier side with some on and off rain later in the day. And then as we get into Tuesday, we'll probably be dealing with temperatures in the low 50s with some more on and off rain. And then as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's when we're going to be drying out. And those temperatures will probably be into the 40s again. So kind of a chillier week as we get into next week. Not as nice as this past week, but no significant weather to really speak of, with just a little bit of rain early next week and kind of a cooler pattern as we get into next week. And expanding outward and talking about some other weather, we're going to be dealing with a pretty big storm moving into the United States as we get into the next few days. And unfortunately, there's going to be a pretty big winter storm moving through the Colorado area and Wyoming.
Keep it out.
They're going to see over a couple of feet of snow out in those neck of the woods.
Wow.
And it's going to be a pretty strong storm. And like I said, the good news is that it's not going to hit us by any means into the winter category. And that storm system will be moving east, and it will probably bring on the rounds of severe weather as well, at least the threat of it across the plains and into the southern United States over the next few days. And we're just going to be clipped by it, just by a little bit of rain on Monday. So again, we can't complain here in Michigan.
No.
And our weather will continue to stay just a little bit on the cooler side, but dry the next few days. So enjoy it. But if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTomTheWeather.com, and it will keep you updated and keep you updated on that side of the website.
All right. Sounds pretty darn good. We'll take it.
Can't complain.
No, can't complain at all. That's for sure. All right. Thanks, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just a quick reminder, our show streams live every Thursday evening at 8 p.m., so we hope you'll set aside some time to join us. And be sure to invite your friends to join in as well. Also, if you go to our Facebook page, be sure to like our page and follow us. And that way you'll be reminded whenever our show is streaming live. You can also get more information and contact us by visiting our website at gccommunitychat.com. All right, let's introduce our guest for tonight. He was here just about 7 months ago on show number 494, if you'd like to check that out. And I'm sure a lot has been going on since then. Please welcome Garden City School Superintendent Derek Fisher to the show. How you doing, Derek?
Kerry, I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, so how's everyone doing? Well, your family's good. Everybody's good.
You know, all things considered, yeah, we're doing well and weathering the storm, and we are hopeful and optimistic that things will continue on a positive trajectory and normalize soon.
Right. Let's hope so. Hey, I see the school buses going up and down my street, so the kids are back in school, I would assume. How long have you been back, and how's it been going?
Our Berger program, for those students who wanted to return, those students have been back since January 25th. And then our other programs, pre-K through 12, those kids have been back since February 1st.
Okay.
For about 7 weeks. And overall, things have gone very well. Is school different? Yes. We're all making adjustments to the pandemic, and I'm just happy it's gone so successful.
Right. So what are some of the changes that are going on in in-person instruction?
Well, for our pre-K through 6 environment, if you're in person, you're going to have desk shields. Of course, you're going to be masked. Your teacher's going to be masked. There's going to be a lot of hand sanitization. Starting with, if you're a busser, as soon as you get on the bus, you're going to be sanitizing those hands. So a lot of hand washing breaks. You're not going to be moving around the building and interacting with other classes. So we're keeping those K through 6 kids on what we refer to as a strict cohort. So there's not a lot of, or not any interaction with any other classes. They're eating lunch in the classroom. Their breakfast is served in the classroom. And then if we're looking at our 7th through 12th grade, our secondary programming at Garden City Middle School, Garden City High School in Cambridge, that is facilitated through what we call a concurrent classroom. It's a big lift with technology, so hats off to not only our instructional team, our teachers, for their hard work, but also our tech department. So that concurrent classroom, basically, if you're a teacher, let's say you teach geometry at the high school, you're going to have 5 hours and your prep in there. But throughout the day, your classroom, you're going to have a number of kids in front of you, anywhere from 8 to 20 kids on average, depending on your hour. You're going to have another set of learners at the same time logging in at that bell schedule who are virtual learners. So that allowed us to have continuity with the curriculum, that allowed us to connect first semester seamlessly to second semester, and that allowed us to keep those in-person classes at the, in that secondary environment where they're changing classes, that allowed us to keep those classes, those in-person classes, reduced. Because about 55% of our secondary students return to in-person learning.
Okay, so they do have the choice to learn online too then?
Yeah, we gave those folks the choice. It was important for us to manage staffing and planning and scheduling. That we had that choice in advance so that we could facilitate this, because essentially what we're doing, we're really, when you look at the elementary program in particular and the Berger program, we're running 2 schools basically. We're running an in-person school and we're running an online school, following the same curriculum, paced as close as we can together with delivery of material and assessments. But in essence, it's 2 programs, and we had to staff accordingly, and that presents some challenges.
Yeah, I bet. So, in your opinion, how are the students and the teachers and parents handling it?
I will say kids are resilient, right? And we defaulted to safety, which frustrated some folks because, we were looking maybe to return second card marking, but remember what things looked like back in November, right?
Right.
The numbers really escalated, and it was alarming. So we did what we said we were going to do all along. We're going to evaluate the situation, and we're going to look for a window of opportunity to return to in-person instruction. And it's not me being flippant or dismissive, but all things being the same, I mean, we did it the right way. And if it were that same deck of cards, if we were to be dealt that same hand, do it again the same exact way, because we have to default to safety. It is a pandemic. We wanted to make sure we had a very, very strong mitigation plan. There was a lot of unknown factors.
Right.
Some school districts came back before us to in-person learning, and hats off to them. For those also had challenges early on with some quarantines and some outbreaks, which, knock on wood, we've not experienced. Right. And then there was many, many districts that came back after us, and some districts still have not returned to in-person learning. And that's not a criticism or critique. That's simply a matter of what a district's capacity is to deliver that, and what the community and the school board, that particular school board's comfort level is. Sure. So all things considered, our board was very supportive and thoughtful. And the administrative team, we worked hard to be deliberate and communicate. And I'm pleased that we're back in person. I certainly I want to promote in-person instruction. I'm very proud of what is going on. But we weren't going to rush into something and compromise safety, during this pandemic. And you're still supplying the Chromebooks, correct, for the in-home students? Absolutely. I'm very proud to say the district, we're at a point now with technology and our Chromebook inventory, we are beyond a one-to-one district. Wow. We continue to upgrade and purchase additional Chromebooks as they become available. There was a significant supply line shortage and some challenges with vendors and their inventory. We worked really hard to reach out and work through that process and maintain an inventory and provide any family with a Chromebook for their students who may need one, and also to the point where we're actually providing hotspots and Wi-Fi support. We've added to our help desk. We are increasing the size of our help team with our tech department. And then again, we've also really built a substantial inventory of devices. And what I'm excited about is when things normalize and we return to something that's regular and familiar, and we welcome all students back, hopefully in the near future, hopefully in September, that we'll be able to have that opportunity. It'll be really important that we don't take that technology and just stick it up on a shelf, right?
Right.
We want to make sure that that tech, all of that good work our teachers have done to learn the technology, all of the support we put in place, and the infrastructure we have for technology, we want to make sure it's put to very good use in the in-person classroom to enhance in-person learning and to support in-person learning, and also to deliver some recovery services, because we know that, when we look at some benchmark assessments, there's going to be challenges with not all kids needing to be right where they need to be. And that's not specific to Garden City. It's not specific to Wayne County or Michigan. That's more than national. That's an international concern right now among educators.
Right.
Deliver some recovery services specific really to reading and math for our K through 6 students, and then credit recovery opportunities for 7th through 12th graders.
That's pretty awesome that you're supplying Wi-Fi and hotspots, because with the pandemic, a lot of parents have lost their job. They can't afford the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So
again, it's
tough.
Yeah, we were pretty much exactly a year. I can tell you Thursday night, March 12th of 2020, we were seeing this really starting to unfold, and my phone was lighting up with superintendent colleagues and contacts I have in Lansing, kind of getting advance word that, hey, the governor is going to pull the plug on schools pretty soon. It could happen as soon as tonight, and there's going to be an announcement. And sure enough, at 11 p.m., she made that announcement that effective that following Monday, schools would be closed. So we went ahead and we closed that Friday, March 13th.
Yeah.
Because in my estimation, if it wasn't going to be safe on Monday, how can it be safe on Friday?
Yeah, exactly. So did you and other superintendents kind of collaborate on this and pick each other's brains a little bit, and on how to go about this?
Yeah, since the very beginning of the pandemic back in March of 2020, we were at a point where Wayne County superintendents, 32, 33 of us collectively were meeting on Zoom multiple times a week to discuss delivery of instruction, to support instruction. What is food service going to look like? What resources are going to be available? What are we going to expect from the Michigan Department of Education? What are we going to expect from the governor's office? So there was a lot of collaboration. And let me tell you, that was therapeutic, because I needed it, because this was something that was unprecedented.
Exactly.
Looking back through all my graduate coursework, Pandemic 101 was not a course offering I had for master's or ed specialist work. Yeah.
It was uncharted land, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We continue to meet. Actually, I meet with all the Wayne County superintendents.
Yeah.
We meet online at least once a month and still collaborate and talk. There's also a short list we kind of go to, a Western Wayne group that includes Livonia, superintendents from Dearborn Heights and Redford Union and South Redford, Northville, Plymouth, Canton. We collaborate often. And then just this afternoon, I met in person, socially distanced, with a number of superintendents, with 11 other superintendents from the downriver area, just to talk about, how are we going to wrap up the year? What is the year end going to look like?
Right.
What are summer school opportunities going to look like? And what do we think the start of the 2021-22 school year is going to look like? So I spent 2.5, 3 hours with a group of colleagues today, just kind of, we're pulling all of our resources together, and we're asking each other good and earnest questions in a relaxed environment, right, where we can be blunt and frank and honest with one another. And it's okay if we don't have answers, because, like you said, it's uncharted territory. But trying to navigate all of this to educate kids passionately, but also to make sure everybody's safe. We've lost some sleep over it, but we've come a long way, and I'm feeling really good about where we're at right now. And I remain optimistic about what the next few months are going to bring, and hopefully what next year is going to look like.
It's really been a work in progress, that's for sure. And you learn as you go,
Absolutely.
So is there going to be summer school available, do you think?
Yeah, we're working on that right now through recovery services, and there's a lot of funding that's going to be made available through the ESSER 2 money. That's the emergency elementary secondary school emergency relief fund. So there's federal funding attached to that, and we talked as recently as Wednesday, yesterday. For 2.5 hours or so with the admin team, including elementary and secondary principals and central office admin, to go over that and start that pre-planning, for recovery services. And yes, our plan is to offer that in person. That's what the grant calls for, and we'll have continued mitigation strategies and safety protocols in place. We'll have transportation in place. And like I said, generally looking at our K through 6 programming, we are going to be focused on reading and math recovery and support for kids. And then as we look at middle school and high school, we're going to be focused on credit recovery opportunity for our students.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Speaking of money, I mean, he just signed the relief bill today. And according to that, $125 billion is going to go to K through 12 public schools. And I believe $10.1 billion is earmarked for Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. So you're hoping to get some of that money?
Absolutely. And right now with our ESSER 2 money, not being critical of the legislature, but I am going to be a bit blunt.
Right.
There's some politicking, who would have thought, with our legislature.
Right.
And right now we only have access to 40% of our ESSER 2 grant money. But we expect when they return from spring break, we'll probably there'll be some movement legislatively so that we can get the remainder of that funding and continue to plan.
Awesome. So going back to the safety about with the kids on our buses, they keep those disinfected and all that, and the kids have to wear their mask on the bus while they're on there.
Yep, students remain masked on the bus. The first thing they do, we retrofitted all of our buses. And there is an actual, as you get on that first step and you look against the dashboard, the firewall of the bus itself, we have a hand sanitizing station mounted right to every bus.
Oh, wow.
Our entire fleet has been retrofitted. We also use CARES Act money to purchase electrostatic sprayers. So every single bus driver and aide, every team, they have an electrostatic sprayer. Kind of a large device that has EPA improved disinfectant that is effective against COVID-19. So in between each run, if let's say for instance, I'm going from Garden City Middle School, I drop my kids at Garden City Middle School before I then pull out to grab my kids at Douglas. We're rolling through with that electrostatic sprayer.
Wow.
It basically encapsulates seating and handrails and everything. So it really helps facilitate that sanitization process. So every bus team has their own electrostatic sprayer. Likewise, we've purchased those, and every building has access to an electrostatic sprayer. In some cases, multiple electrostatic sprayers have been issued to buildings based on their size and programming.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff going on, and I will say this, and I'm going to keep saying it so people know. Our mitigation plan, our Garden City Public Schools mitigation plan, is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in Wayne County.
I believe it.
Yeah, we've done a lot, and some people have said, we don't need all this. We want school to look normal. My thing is, we're not going to do just the bare minimum. School isn't going to look normal for a while, and what I don't want is sick kids and sick staff. So
exactly,
we're going to keep a strong mitigation plan in place for as long as the numbers look like they do.
Well, I'm glad you have that mindset because protecting our kids and staff and students is the main thing right now.
Absolutely, and to that, I will give a shout out to the Wayne County Health Department. Yeah, I also want to thank local first responders who've been involved in the process, and also the Michigan National Guard. We've managed to have any staff member in Garden City Public Schools, whether they're a teacher, paraprofessional, secretary, principal, bus driver, food service worker, custodian, electrician, superintendent, you name it, anybody who wanted access to the vaccine, when we were able to get our spot secured by the Wayne County Health Department, they did a bang-up job of getting us in over the course of a day to get our first vaccine, and then they returned us 28 days later to get our second vaccine. So basically, anybody in Garden City Public Schools, regardless of your position, if you wanted to be vaccinated, because you could be under the 1B category, you had access to the Moderna vaccine. And at this point, like I said, approximately 400 staff members, 80% of our staff, those that wanted the vaccine, they have it in their arm right now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Mayor Randy Walker's in there. He's watching from Mexico. He's actually in Mexico vacationing. How you doing, Mayor? Scott Archer says, proud of all the educators right now. I applaud you. And it's not easy, that's for sure. You know, let me ask you another thing, Derek. Our younger students, do they really understand what's going on, do you think, as far as the safety aspect of this and the pandemic? I mean, you got to, you know, give a shout out to their parents probably for explaining it to them, and the teachers, I would imagine.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say, yes, they do. You know, and some of those, you mentioned younger kids, you know, for some students, for some of our, certainly our Great Start Readiness Program, our GSRP preschool, and our kindergarten program, for some of our kids, for some of our learners, their first and only experience with school has been during COVID.
Yeah.
So they don't know anything different. And there's some strength to that, because we can then, hey, this is how it's going to look, right? You don't have to relearn anything. We're going to teach you how to be safe at school. I was visiting Lathers. My week has run together. I think I was at Lathers Tuesday morning. Yes, Lathers Tuesday morning to visit, check in with the principal, and just kind of walk the halls and check in on a few classrooms. They've actually added some additional imagery and additional lines on the floor to kind of keep kids understanding about how we walk and how we keep distance from one another, and how we keep pacing to, you know, not come in contact with other classrooms and all of that. It's going very, very well. And I will tell you, you know, when you have 4 and 5-year-olds who are wearing masks and being diligent about washing their hands, I can't ask for anything more. You know, one of the concerns was that we heard from a few employees was, you know, are kids actually going to wear the mask? What are we going to do if they don't wear the mask?
Right.
And what I shared was, in my experience from visiting other schools, because before we opened, I networked with that great group of colleagues, my superintendent friends from across Wayne County, and I pulled a team together, and we went and visited some school districts who had already been open. So we went to Huron, Downriver Huron, to visit their middle school and high school program.
Oh, wow.
And we also went to Dearborn Heights No. 7 and visited Annapolis High School. And the questions, you know, we always ask questions, you know, how's it going with masking? How's it going with sanitization?
Yeah.
You know, what they shared with us, kids have been really good about being diligent about wearing the mask, because the ones that elected to come back in person, made that choice knowing that this was going to be a requirement.
Okay, yeah.
I say the same thing about our kids in Garden City, and I want to thank their parents for helping us enforce these safety protocols, because that's what it's going to take right now. And yes, it does look different, but again, hats off to the parents for helping us encourage that, support that, and then hats off to the kids for their resiliency and following through.
Yeah. It's just been so tough on everyone. It really has. The parents, the teachers, staff, students. I mean, you name it. It's just, so what do you think next school year is going to look like?
You know, that's
early to tell.
It's a big question. And, you know, what gives me optimism is that by mid to end May, we could potentially have 50% of folks in Michigan who want the vaccine vaccinated. And if that momentum continues, and we're looking right now, we're right around 2.3, 2.4 million people a day nationally are being vaccinated. If that momentum continues, September could put us in a pretty good spot. We could look at a pretty good place in September where we can see these numbers really get pushed down.
Let's hope so.
Will there still be COVID out there? I believe COVID will still be out there, probably.
Or a variant.
Yeah, or a variant. We will be dealing with it in some capacity for a while still, but if we start school in September with masks, but my hope is we will be looking at a full return in September with safety protocols in place. Not to the extent we have now, but we know that what we have found out and what the Center for Disease Control, what the CDC has put out there, and what the Harvard Medical School is sharing, that schools aren't a source for transmission. If you're actually employing these mitigation strategies with fidelity, you are not going to transmit COVID. And have we had cases come into the school? Yes, we had cases come into our schools. We do have some kids out, but we have not had transmission. And knock on wood, we're going to continue because of the masking, because of the frequent hand washing. We can't maintain 6-foot distance in many of our classes, but we do have desk shields. We do have plexiglass. We do have barriers. And we're engaged in good practices.
Right.
We've created a very safe environment, and I hope that continues. Right. And that's not to say that some transmission may not happen, because we have athletics up and running.
Right.
We have, it is a school, and schools are populated. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. How is athletics being? What's the changes there? Are they tested? Are they?
Right now, the testing mandate is for wrestling. So wrestlers, there is a testing protocol with rapid tests for wrestlers, because that obviously you can't have it any more of a contact sport.
In your face, yeah, really.
And then there's mitigation practices and screeners and protocols that we follow, that the Michigan High School Athletic Association is put out. We were very careful not to share material. Water bottles, clothing, that type of thing.
Right.
And they're looking at equipment the kids have access to for purposes of sport, whether it be a basketball or something else. There's a sanitization protocol that's in place for that equipment as well.
Sandy Abrams says she misses the school musicals. You think those will be coming back?
We have Little Women on deck for the spring. But that will be a virtual, that will be an online performance. So we're going to be filming that and getting that out to the community.
Oh, okay.
So that's something you can tune in and watch.
Yeah, that's awesome. From the comfort of your home.
Yeah, and with that, shouts out to Sandy, a great resident and great supporter of the schools. I'm just seeing those folks, but right now, one of the things we got to be real careful with is we have to follow the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services emergency orders.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of occupancy. Really, when you start looking at indoor events, that's where it's complicated, and we got to be vigilant with following those emergency orders for indoor events. And fortunately, we can host sporting events. We can have students can bring parents and have parents attend. But as far as packing a gym, it doesn't look the same. It's kind of like professional sports. You're running at limited occupancy.
Right. Yeah, there's certain guidelines you just have to follow. That's you have no choice. Let's see. Sandy Weatherby Frost. Good evening. Many thanks to Mr. Fisher and all who've been involved in making this the best and safest school year possible.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you've done a remarkable job. That's all I can say.
Well, and I appreciate
everyone, really.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but it's been a monumental effort by our entire staff.
It's a real team effort.
Yeah, great team, and nothing we do is a one-man show. And from our board all the way down to our direct hire employees, our collective bargaining groups. And any staff member we have, it's taken considerable work, and it's been a heavy lift for all involved. And I'm just appreciative and proud of what we've been able to accomplish. Like I shared with you, there's districts that are larger than us. There's districts that had more financial resources and more space than we do.
Oh, sure.
Some of those districts, they didn't come back when we did. And there's some districts across the state that still are not back yet. Yeah. And there's other districts for, and again, this is their decision, and I honor that and recognize that. But there's other districts across the state who made the decision not to come back at all this year. So for us to be able to do this, it's been a lot of work. We've done it again. Like I'll come back to saying, we've done it the right way. And looking back in hindsight, I wouldn't change anything. We came back at the right time when we can make it as safe as possible.
No regrets.
No regrets. I want to have a smooth ending to the school year. And then, like I said, I mean, there's a lot we've got to look at every day. And you know, it's not me being flippant or dismissive at all, but we did it the right way because it was a collaborative effort with feedback from many stakeholders and just a lot of work to make sure that we had all those pieces in place to have a very solid mitigation plan.
Yeah, awesome. Before we get into the school bond projects, I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the people that are in there watching tonight. Patty Fix is in there. Garden City Fire Chief Kathy Harmon's in there. She had a busy night last night, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Jennifer Woody Rice, Darlene Jablonski from the school board is there. She's the president, I believe. Tina Wing. Let's see. Cheryl Parton, who's that? How you doing, there? Sandy Abraham. Scott Archer from Carrot Stick Sports is in there. Sarah Young-Rafi from the school board as well is in there. Sherry Weatherby Frost. And let's see, Scott Archer says, Little Women sounds like a great opportunity to work with additional students for editing, recording, and directing. More like a movie, which is kind of cool.
Yep, yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be like. They're going to get creative, and it'll be a lot of editing where you'll have a big cast, but that cast won't be all there at the same time as an ensemble.
Yeah,
it's going to involve bringing them in at different times, and you know, sometimes the interaction once it's all together and knitted together, it'll look right. But
yeah, it's going to take some doing. That's for sure. Well, let's move on to any upcoming bond projects. The bond passed in May of 2020. Any developments and updates there?
Yeah, a lot of work with our architects and our project management team. So we're working closely right now with French and Associates is our architectural team. Mm-hmm. And Barton Mallow is our construction team. So a lot of good work going on there. We've got a big focus on the high school. Mm-hmm. So we spent a lot of time with a pool design. So that whole pool area there on the northwest corner of the high school, that will all be redeveloped. The walls will stay up.
Okay.
And the footprint is going to be the same. But outside of that, that whole space is going to be reimagined. We'll still have a 6-lane pool, but it's going to be deepened. So what's going to happen is basically in the very near future, they're going to come in and basically slice the roof off of the pool.
Wow.
Open it up like a bucket. They're going to cut a hole in the wall, and they're going to bring all that equipment in, get the pool out, and put a whole brand new pool system in for us.
Wow.
Competitive depth. Working in the locker rooms. We'll be redesigning that, what's referred to as the pool classroom area, and expanding space on the pool deck, and also getting new bleachers in there.
Wow.
So that'll be looking really good.
That's awesome.
And then also we've got an athletic field project that's going to be starting up in the spring. So the athletic field will be completely redone. Drainage out there now, a drainage project. They'll remove the grass will all come out. We'll have a royal blue end zones for the football field for the AstroTurf.
Oh, nice.
We'll have our cougar paw out there on the turf.
Wow.
So there will be turf. We're also going to be completely gutting and redoing the field house. And all of the asphalt that is enclosed within that athletic space there, the fenced-in area, we'll have all new asphalt, removal and replacement of the asphalt, all new fencing around that facility, modern vinyl coated fencing, chain link fencing. And then we're also going to be doing the Cambridge parking lot too. So big project, but it'll really transform that area for us and serve us well for many years to come.
Oh, yeah.
We're also going to be renovating. We're going to be redoing O'Leary. So we're going to be removing all the seats, redoing the seating, redoing the aisles.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep, new sound system.
Yeah, we need some new padding in those seats.
Yeah, they got some mileage on them. And actually, newer seats, and it's not because of anything we're doing wrong, but
sure,
newer seats they're actually, the spec is for wider.
Oh,
People
nice.
may weigh a little more than they did in 1970, so we get all new seats in there as well, a little bit wider, a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Great.
Yeah,
Mike Jones has joined us. How you doing, Mike? A little late.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got tied up watching the president giving his address, and I forgot all about this.
No problem.
But you know what, Derek? A lot of us are wider, and so wider seats would be appreciated.
there you go. We've got also going on. We're going to be doing the 7 science labs over at Garden City High School. Those
1950s.
Yeah, the science lab. I mean, that's that building. That the design of that building goes back to 1950. So that's Eisenhower era science lab. So it'll be modernized and high tech. So we're really excited about how those labs are going to look.
Awesome.
We're going to be able to educate kids when those are finished.
Wow.
Yep, and then we're also going to be working down the road. Those are immediate projects, and then down the road for the high school, complete renovation, change up on the main office, and also the MRC. And then we're also right now planning. We're in the planning phase for a number of middle school projects that'll start next year. So middle school science labs, the stage in the gym area will be redone. The track in the gym area will be redone. Locker rooms at the middle school will be redone, and then also redoing that office.
Wow. Now, you also had some sinking fund projects as well, right? Now, can you explain the difference between sinking fund and the bond?
Yeah, the bond is we're identifying those projects, and it's it's a very very specific in its scope. And the sinking fund, that is a fund that we can look at to come back to things and kind of make some renovations and improvements. Smaller amount of money. The bond, the past, the facilities bond was a $50 million bond, and that's going to include, as we move forward, we also are project planning currently for Cambridge right now as well, to do quite a bit of work over there. New exterior doors, new exterior windows, new flooring, classroom ventilators, so heating and cooling in classrooms. But the sinking fund, that is more of an opportunity to look at projects, I don't want to say in the short term, but you have a resource that you can draw from. It isn't spelled out in the scope of that bond work. So as opportunity presents, we're going to be looking at the boys baseball diamond as a sinking fund project, something that we're going to be working on down the road. And then we can also look at that as a vehicle where if there's work that we aren't doing under a bond project, we can draw from that sinking fund to take care of a project. So if we have some type of emergency, mechanical emergency in the district, a roof or a blower, a roof or a boiler goes, we would have an opportunity to pull from the sinking fund instead of the general fund to cover that expense.
Wow. Cheryl wanted me to just mention, and I forgot, that you were on 1 year ago, and so much has progressed. I mean, you were on, I think, in March, exactly 1 day, 1 year ago today, and then we had you in August. So
right, yeah, my timeline is just part of that, Kerry. It feels like that could have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then part of it could have been 7 or 8 years ago. Isn't
that crazy?
Our timeline with everything is really kind of compressed and fluid and expands right now, and it's just interesting times. And I give credit to where credit is due. Our teachers have done a phenomenal job. Our building teams, our paraprofessionals and clerical teams have done great. You mentioned it. I'm going to go back to it. You said it's great to see buses out in the district again. My hats off to our transportation team, because they've got a lot of extra work they've got to do to facilitate sanitation of buses and cleaning protocols. So, I mean, it is a different year for everybody.
Sure is.
Things are harder with COVID, right? I mean, it's just, we wanted to get back in person, but there's a lot of extra behind the scenes work that constantly goes into this. And then when an order or update comes out, we got to make sure it's copacetic and we're compliant. So, it's work. You know what I mean?
Before you go, I did want to ask you about the Gleaners Food Bank project that you're.
Absolutely. We're really excited. You know, Gleaners, obviously, I think there's a lot of familiarity because they are such a powerful and positive organization that does so much good. And they, you know, we had this contact, they reached out. They wanted to bring a mobile food bank event to the district. They recognize, as we do, that the pandemic has brought challenges. Some folks are in a food crisis, and we've done a really solid job of providing meals within the guidelines and what we can do, our capacity to support families and students. If kids aren't going hungry, we can make sure that they can pick up meals. You know, if you're an in-person learner or an online learner, we're going to feed you. But there's also families, right, that need help. And there's also weekends and breaks, right?
Yes.
So twice a month, the second and fourth Friday of every month through June, Gleaners Food Bank is going to come and do a mobile distribution. Wow. And what they do is they come with a 30-pound prepackaged box of dry groceries, canned groceries, and proteins to provide for a family. So you could feed a family of 4 or 5 nutritious meals for about a week, week and a half, right?
Oh, wow.
And to see the way they come in and deliver this, it is like a military operation. It's like seeing the Air Force come out with a C-130 and pull all these pallets out.
Wow.
That's what it is. They bring in a semi-tractor trailer. They pull it into the bus turnaround at Garden City Middle School. They open that up. They've got a lift gate and everything. Wow. And they just bring these pallets upon pallets out. And the middle school bus turnaround right there off Radcliffe, just south of Ford, just south of McDonald's there. That's a great area because we can stage them at the end close to Schoolcraft. Yep. We've got a nice lineup where we can stage parents. We bring them all the way down, circle them through the staff lot, and then bring them down into that bus turnaround. So we can back up about 55, 60 cars before they, push out onto Ford. And, in 2 hours, they're distributing 330-pound boxes of food.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Can you send that information to me? Email that to me, and we'd love to announce that on our shows.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're doing it. Our next distribution is tomorrow from 2 to 4, so that's March 12th.
Okay.
And then the second one for March will be 2 weeks tomorrow, so that'll be March 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. Okay. But I've got a flyer. I will. Tomorrow morning, it's on my desktop. I'll email that to you so you can get that out there on your social media and share it again.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And one more thing I have to tell you. Last week on our show, number 518, we had Mr. Mark Gutman on.
Oh, right on.
And I have to tell you, he thinks very highly of you.
Likewise,
great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he was with Garden City Schools for a number of years, was an administrator. Obviously, he was over at the high school for a number of years, over at central office.
Yeah. And
I will share with you, we talk about all these connections, 6 degrees of separation. Mark Gutman's son is Ken Gutman, and Ken Gutman is the superintendent of Walled Lake Schools.
Right.
I sit on the Galileo Teacher Leader Board with Ken Gutman, and I was in a Zoom meeting with Mark Gutman's son today talking about building capacity for teacher leadership. So,
oh my gosh,
a lot of connections.
Small world, eh?
A small world.
And yeah, he seems to know everyone in Garden City. So
he does.
Great guy to know, and a lot of knowledge there for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, look, did we cover everything you wanted to cover tonight?
I think we covered a lot, and like I said, I want to just again thank and applaud the parents and the community.
Yes.
Folks like you guys for just supporting the school district and for exercising grace and understanding and thoughtfulness, and folks like
patience.
Sandy Abraham, who has been, what a wonderful cheerleader for the district, because there's times where she just texts me and just says, "Hey, Derek, I got to tell you, your teachers are doing a great job. Derek, that was a great board meeting. You guys are doing a great job."
That's awesome. It makes you feel good.
It's good to hear that, because
it goes a long way.
It goes a long way. And you know what it does? It helps us keep gas in our tank, because this has been a long haul for all of us, whether, like I said, whether you're a classroom teacher, board member, bus driver. I mean, these are interesting times,
Very trying times.
Parts of it have been a little scary, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at the media, you look at how some of this gets addressed, and you hear some of these stories. And, you know, when all this first shook out, you know, we were thinking we were looking at a 2-week closure. And then we were thinking, okay, we'll be out over spring break. And oh my goodness, the worst thing, we may have to keep kids in school until the end of June to make up all this lost time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And who would have thought, you know, here we are exactly a year later, still in this pandemic, still talking about this.
Right.
You know, and I want to thank too, I mean, every day or so I get an update from Chief Harmon. She's real good about keeping us in the loop. And she's a contact for us, distributing that information on COVID cases. And then also the Wayne County Health Department, again, daily I get correspondence from them. And I'm part of a network that they have with all school superintendents where they've got a special Google Doc that we can access, which give us pretty much an hour-to-hour update on the status of COVID across the Wayne County community. So it kind of helps us with a resource to gauge where things are at, not only in our own district, but I could tell you, I could pull up Ecorse, I could pull up Livonia, you know, I could look at Woodhaven, I could look at Northville, and I can kind of see geographically what's going on with COVID across Wayne County. So it's an awesome resource for us just to kind of have, you know, as an added tool in our belt to kind of, you know, gauge safety for our students and staff.
Well, that's awesome. Awesome. Let me tell you, it's a hell of a responsibility that you've taken on and your team, and to keep our kids safe. And like I said, once again, my hat's off to you. You've done a remarkable job, all of you.
I appreciate it. Like I said, it's never a one-man show, and I want to thank our board for their support, because, you know, we really work together as a team of 8 to make sure that everything we do, you know, decisions aren't made in a vacuum. Everything we do is to support staff and to support students in the learning process. We're very passionate about that. We're passionate about doing it safely and with fidelity. And again, I'm just, you know, I can say this with utmost confidence, and it's I'm in a good spot right now because it has been stressful. I'm not gonna sugarcoat, you know, the work. Nights that have been there. Yeah. I couldn't be any more proud of what we've accomplished. And just, if you would have asked me a year ago and said, hey, this is what it's going to look like at the high school 1 year from now.
Yeah. Jeez.
You're talking science fiction. I would have thought I was reading Isaac Asimov novel. We've come far with technology, and you look at how our kids are so intuitive in how they engage with Zoom and these platforms. And like I said, the thing that I'm most excited about, we've internalized, we've got all this technology now in the district. We are going to put it to great use for in-person learners. We welcome everybody back. It's going to be one more thing we can do in the classroom, one more weather, and the district apps to deliver instruction to kids.
I think you got a new nickname.
Oh, yeah? You're all right. Yes, good stuff.
Jen Whitaker. Well, look, Derek, thanks again for coming on. You know, you're always welcome back anytime.
I appreciate it.
Anything we can do on this show, you send it to us, and we will do it, because you have our support 100%.
Thank you so much.
And say hi to the family, stay safe, and take care, okay?
You got it. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Ooh, boy. A lot of great information there, that's for sure. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good.
So the president have much to say?
Yeah, it was a good address.
Okay, good. Well, let me just mention, I do have the COVID numbers here, so I might as well go over them. And I'll tell you, they're not really great.
Michigan was not good.
Yeah, the state is back up, man. 2,091 new cases today with 23 deaths, 16 from a review. Garden City, 4 cases today. They remain at 1,228 total cases, no deaths. Westland had 7 cases, no deaths. Dearborn, they need to get it together, Dearborn. 43 cases today and no deaths. So continue. You got to mask up, people. Got to mask up, and let's get this COVID under control. You need to do it. All right, let's get Joe Bartley in here for tax talk, and then we'll get to our announcements, okay?
Okay.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tax Talk with Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More. So this week has been one of the wildest rides in the tax industry. With the latest passing of the latest stimulus bill, there's a lot of unknown, and a lot of people are going to be affected. I'd say probably 75% of the people will be affected. Now, there's some things in there about, of course, relief for testing, more sites, more money put into testing. There is a provision in there to increase the federal unemployment, so that could be a good thing for some people. As far as on next year's taxes, there is an increase in the child tax credit. More details to follow on that one. Now, the thing that's really going to be an effect on a lot of people here is they have ruled that the first $10,200 of unemployment from 2020, that's on the taxes we're doing right now, is not taxable. So here's what we need to do. If you've already done your tax return, you want to file an amendment. Now, that amendment will be worth some pretty good money to people, so it's something that you certainly want to do, and it's worth the time and the few extra dollars to get another tax return done. However, at this point, forms are not available, so it cannot be done. So we have to wait for the forms before we can do it. Now, if you haven't filed your taxes this year, usually I advise people to file as soon as possible. In this case, my opinion is to wait and wait at least a couple of weeks, see if forms are available, so that this can all be done at the same time, and you don't have to amend your tax return. So again, the first $10,200 of your unemployment income will be non-taxable. So that'll be less taxable income, and if you paid taxes in, you're going to basically get that back. So it's certainly worth holding off and doing an amendment if need be. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot that we're still unsure of. The phone's ringing off the hook. The email's piling up. Again, a lot that we don't know, but stay tuned. Watch my Facebook page where I post information as it happens. And that's, of course, J&J Taxes and More. And that's my Facebook page. So I post information. You don't have to be a client. And hopefully I can help some people and keep you up to date and give you factual information and not just things that you hear, rumors or that kind of thing. So if you want to get a hold of me, the best way is Joe@J&J Taxes and More, and that's all spelled out. And I'm located at 29217 Ford Road, Suite 104 in Garden City, right next to the old Orange Jewelers. So if you have questions, please let me know. And stay tuned, because there's certainly more coming with this. Thank you. Have a great week, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Joe. We did file, but we don't have to amend our taxes, so we're good. We're good.
I mailed mine in this week too.
Yeah, Joe did ours. He does a great job. I can't say enough about Joe. And what's great about Joe is, even if you're not a client, he puts stuff on his Facebook page that's so important, and it's good free information for you. So I highly suggest, even if you don't use Joe for your taxes, go to his Facebook page, because there's a lot of good information on there. Let's see. I wanted to get in here, and Scott Archer. Yeah, we're going to be mentioning that, Scott. Tickets are on sale for his $200 gift basket from Elaine's Gift Baskets and More. They're on sale now at Carrot Stick Sports and 2 Archer Salon. $200 plus is in the basket. A lot of hair care products, A lot of different logo products. Tickets are $3 each or 2 for $5. The drawing will be at the grand opening party on April 17th. So make sure that you mark your calendars for that. Garden City Business Alliance members meeting to plan events for the rest of the year is tomorrow on Zoom. And we welcome any new business to come introduce yourself to everyone else, as it's not going to be a regular membership meeting. It's going to be an events meeting, more or less, but new members are always welcome, and come join the GCBA. Great organization. All right, are you ready, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Well, when you say goodbye,
Okay, it's time for some community announcements. Get Mike in here.
You know it's a lie, 'cause I'll be there when I die.
All right, good job, good job. All right, we got this coming on here.
Okay, Garden City Figure Skating Club is having their Masterpiece 2021 Ice Show. They're selling raffle tickets. Those are $5 each. The drawing will be 31st March.
Yep.
At, what is that, 6 p.m.?
Yep.
Garden City Ice Arena. Win an igloo cooler filled with bottles of cheer.
Ooh.
I understand there's going to be like, they got like 20 bottles of cheer for that thing.
Wow.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, this is actually a fundraiser for their ice show that they're going to be having.
Right.
So, yeah, very good, very good. All right, what do we got here?
Senior Fitness Room is now open at the Maplewood Senior Center, Monday through Friday from 9 to 7, Saturdays from 9:30 to 3:30, by appointment to allow for social distancing. Call 734-793-1850 for appointments and membership rates.
Yes. I did want to mention this myself. I got this tonight. Lucky Dog Day Luxury Care and Boarding in Garden City is a designated drop-off for donations for the Bentley Square apartment fire that they had last night. That's just north of Ford and west of Merriman, kind of like in between St. Raphael and the museum there. They lost, I believe, like 12 apartments over there. So they're hurting. And it was a 2-alarm fire, so it was a pretty big one. You can call 734-261-7387 for more information. But they need, all kinds of stuff. So they'll tell you if you give them a call, they'll let you know what they need. But our prayers, thoughts and prayers go out to those families that were displaced. All right.
St. Patrick's Day Pocono for seniors, March 15th from 1 to 2:30. It's free. It's at the Maplewood Community Center.
Yeah, I didn't know what Pocono was, and what it is, it's a combination of poker and keno.
Okay.
So that sounds like fun. And Maplewood's at 31735 Maplewood Street in Garden City.
All right. The grand opening is, you mentioned just a minute ago, for the 2 Archer Salon and Carrot Stick Sports will take place on Saturday, April 17th.
Yep.
From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're located at 32431 Ford Road in Garden City.
Yep. The old Carmack building there.
Right. It's fish fry time. St. Thomas the Apostle Parish is having their Friday fish fries during Lent. Every Friday from 4:30 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a variety of menu stuff, which we went through last week.
Yeah, you don't need to go through that if you don't want.
Yeah, you got a lot of choices, and it's good food.
A lot of food there.
Are you interested in volunteering? Apply to a city commission or board member. Volunteer boards and commissions.
Yep. Need volunteers for all them.
Yeah, Board of Review, Commission on Aging. We need somebody.
Yeah.
We got a vacancy.
Yeah.
Downtown Development Authority, elected officials, compensation commission, historical commission, recreation, planning commission, zoning board of appeals. You can contact them at www.gardencitymi.org/255/elected-officials. Was that slash boards hyphen boards hyphen commissions?
I don't know why they don't make a shorter email.
Show me the money. This year, the financial resources are virtual. Check out Show Me the Money Day 2021 event page or Garden City, Michigan to find financial tips and tricks, as well attend financial workshops on home buying, budgeting, and much more during March. Prize drawings held every Friday. Fill out our survey for each week, and you will be entered into a prize drawing on every Friday in March.
Yeah, this is over at Maplewood Center too, I believe.
Yeah. But it's going to be virtual.
Yeah.
Garden City Parks and Recreation is having a kickball league. Sign up is now available Friday nights. Kickball will be running from April 23rd to June 11th. Sign up for Adult Kickball League today. Relive your childhood glory. I didn't have a lot of childhood glory days. With an adult co-ed kickball league. Don't have a team, no problem. Sign up as a free agent.
Yeah.
Small group or full team leagues are 10 by 10 with doubleheader games, 2 games per week. Call Parks and Rec office at 734-793-1882. Yeah, my playground experience was, when you go out there and you choose up team members.
Yeah.
I was usually the last one picked.
Oh, really?
Or maybe the next to the last.
Okay.
Justifiably so, but based on my talent. Preschool playtime at Maplewood Community Center. Fun activities, make new friends. It's going to take place on Mondays from 9:30 to 11. There's a $3 drop-in charge. Parents and kids ages 1 through 4 come and imagine, play, and create.
Yeah.
Call 734-793-1877 for more information. Cardio strength training, 9 a.m. Saturdays. I guess this is probably also at Maplewood Community Center.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can barely read it, but it looks like $6 drop-in.
Yeah, $6. Yeah, that's really small.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get more information by calling Maplewood.
Garden City Public Library is open for limited browsing, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can check out these new services. Story time to go. That's a nice thing. It's for your preschool age kids typically, and it's being sponsored in part by Garden City Kiwanis.
Yeah.
Reading booster packs, tabletop games, take and make crafts, technology to go, including Fitbits, Chromebook laptops, and Wi-Fi hotspots.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that's all we got there, but I got a couple here. Spring is right around the corner, and ACS, Aquachem Solutions, is here to clean your carpets for you and upholstery. If you mention that you heard it on my show, you get a free deodorizer with any cleaning service and 1 bottle of Home Pro Spotter. You can call them at 734-421-7110. Mike Leica is the owner, and I can tell you he does a fantastic job. We've been using him for years, and it's also all green products, so it's all environmentally safe. Also, in your water bill this month, you're going to get the Garden City Buzz right here, and you're going to want to check it out. There's going to be a Community Shred Day, Saturday, April 24th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm glad they're having that because we have some stuff to get rid of. They've been piling up. It's going to be at the City Hall parking lot, 6000 Middle Belt Road. They'll accept up to 5 paper grocery bags or cardboard banker boxes of sensitive paper documents. from Garden City residents only and businesses to shred at no charge, no plastic bags, please. Plus prescription drug disposal, pills only, no liquids or needles. And they're also accepting non-perishable food, toiletries, and cash donations for the home food pantry. Also, the mayor put in there these people that are filling in their ditches to acquire more parking space.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them are doing it wrong, and in this BuzzFeed, they're going to tell you how to do it right. So you're going to want to check it out. And also, there is a map of all the streets that are going to be done this year. It's all color-coded, and you can see if your street's on there. And yes, my street is on there, and it's about time is all I got to say.
You really like it, Kerry. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I can imagine. And what do you have? Anything else?
I got something here from the marketplace.
Yeah, the marketplace is out. Here it is right here, the March marketplace for Garden City. I'll hold that up. You want to check that out.
Don wants to remind us to save the dates for the All-American Wayne Ford Cruise on June 19th.
Yes.
Cruising Hines on August 29th.
Yep.
And the Cruising with Step on August 25th.
Yeah, Don Nicholson is the car guru. He's been on our show several times, and he's been very successful with his car shows for sure.
Oh, but Garden City Parks and Recreation has a playbook that summarizes Park and Recreation's programs and activity guide.
Oh, yeah.
And businesses can advertise on the boards around the Garden City Ice Arena.
Right, right. I believe I got the GCBA one when I was president. I think they're on there.
You know, call Parks and Rec at 734-793-1882.
Yeah. You know, I want to mention one more thing. Any Garden City Business Alliance members, and I've mentioned this before, if you want to come on our show and promote your business, I don't know why you don't take advantage of it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. We can do a virtual tour of your business, show off your business and get the information out there to not only Garden City, but several of the surrounding communities. So
just like Carrot Sticks did.
Yeah, like Carrot Sticks did. Don Nicholson's done it. J&J Taxes has done it. It's very easy. We're very friendly, very laid back. You don't have to be scared or anything. But, you know, we want to promote your businesses. So please contact us and let's get you scheduled to come on the show. Right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
What else you got? Anything else?
No, I think that's about it. I ran through a lot of them last week.
All right. We're an hour and 14 minutes in. So have you guys ever considered being a guest on our show? Or maybe you know somebody who might be interested. If so, it's very easy. You can contact us through our website at gccommunitychat.com. Send us your name, email address, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Or you can message us on our Facebook page or text us at 734-788-9319. During this time, you can do the show remotely and safely from the comfort of your home or office. You can do it on a laptop. You can do it on a PC. You can do it on your mobile phone. It's very simple. Maybe you own a business, like I said, or belong to an organization, and you'd like to share your information with us in the surrounding communities. If so, contact us today, and we look forward to hearing from you. And with that said, I think we're ready to call this a podcast.
Podcast.
Special thanks to Mr. Derek Fisher, Garden City Public Schools Superintendent. What a great job he is doing. If you tuned in late, you're going to want to check it out. He had a lot of great information. You know, I sure don't envy him, Mike.
No, this is a tough situation for people like him.
It really is.
You want to get kids back in school, but you want to get them back safely, and
yeah. For sure.
We're making progress.
Oh yeah. And it's a work in progress, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just something, we've never had a pandemic. So
Not in 100 years. Yeah.
not in our lifetime anyway. But anyway, Derek did a great job. You can also go to the GardenCitySchools.com website if you want more information, and also you can contact him through that. Also thanks to my co-host Dr. Tom Iwinski and Mike Jones. Mike, I'm glad you made it in there tonight. I was getting worried. Great job as always. And thanks to all of you who tune in every week. We really appreciate it. Remember, this show will be available right after we sign off tonight on our Facebook page, and I'll share it on several other group pages. And you can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat. And then it's going to be on our YouTube channel a little bit later at youtube.com/communitychatshow. If you haven't checked it out on YouTube, please do so and help us get our subscriber numbers up. Just be sure to click on the red subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Check out tonight's show and all our videos, especially if you tuned in late tonight. Like I said, some great information. And as always, what we do at the end of each show, we want to thank all of our healthcare workers, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We can't thank you enough. Be safe. And we want you to know that your families are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And when you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them. Maybe someday soon we won't have to do that at the end of the show, Mike.
No.
Even though we do appreciate them.
No, you can always, I'm sure they always like our getting some recognition and appreciation for the work they're doing.
Yep. Exactly.
Someday maybe we'll be able to go to restaurants and thank these people in person and what have you.
Yep. I think so. Got to get them vaccines in the arms. That's the main thing.
Yeah, Faye got her first shot. We had to go way out to Macomb Community College to do it.
Good.
And then after she got it, that was like an hour drive.
Yeah.
After she got it, within 3 days, she got a call from DMC and from Meyer saying, "We got dates for you."
Oh, geez.
That would have been a lot closer and a lot
closer. You just never know, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. But please support them safely. That means maintaining your distance and masking up. They need that support now more than ever. Support them when you can. Remember, our restaurants and other businesses are open with some restrictions, and that doesn't mean you let your guard down. Continue to wear that mask, wash, and maintain a safe distance, and we'll all get through this together safely together. Thank you, Jennifer Rice. I appreciate that. And thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Kangaroo Court is to fine Mike $1 for being late. You see that?
Always behind, never on time.
Yeah, that's right. All right. And if you see something,
say something.
Absolutely. Look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to DrTomsWeather.com. It's got a great user-friendly website. This guy really, really takes his weather serious. He works real hard. He goes to school for it. He wants to be a meteorologist, goes to U of M. Great school. Go Blue.
Yeah.
It's a shame they couldn't win that last game against State, eh?
Yeah, and they're not going to play them now tomorrow because the State got upset today.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to play Maryland instead.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll take it. Should be good. Should be interesting.
Yeah. Usually they bounce back pretty good from a vaccine thing or a loss. So hopefully they will do so again.
Right. Let's hope so. Hey, we will see you right back here next Thursday, March 18th, live on Facebook.com/GCChat. So until next week, you got anything else, Mike?
No, sir.
All right. Until next week, thanks for listening. Stay safe, mask up, and good night.
Good night.